Okay, we'll call to order the regular meeting of the Batavia City Council for Monday, August 21st, 2017. I'd ask that you please rise for a brief invocation to be followed by the Pledge of Allegiance. Tonight, as we are remembering the events of this day with the eclipse and all the notoriety and reactions to it, I've heard a number of community reactions, both somewhat sarcastic and some appreciative. So I just want to say that I think we are great stewards of our world around us, and we have had the science behind us to know and understand the events that are taking place, and it's good that we do honor events like took place today so that the young people who we will hand this world off to will have a finer understanding of how things should work and what we should do as a public organization to keep people alert and know what's happening. As always tonight, and we continue to hear of all the bad stories coming out of our U.S. military's involvement around the world, we just want to send a special blessing to all those from our community and from throughout our country who are serving in the fields of battle that our world is unfortunately struck with. As always tonight, we want to also ask for guidance and direction and understanding as we act on the issues before us. And we hope that our actions at the end of the day by our council and those in the future will generate and render some very positive events and activities in a community lifestyle here that all of us can be proud of. We ask for all these blessings. Amen. Amen. Alderman Rosado, would you lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance?
Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Ask the city clerk to please call the roll.
Brown.
Here.
Rosado.
Here.
Atack. Stark. Chanzit.
Here.
Wolf.
Here.
Salvati.
Here.
O'Brien.
Here.
Callahan.
Here.
Meitzler.
Here.
Mueller.
Here.
Ewer.
Here.
Cerrone.
Here.
McFadden.
Here.
Let the record reflect that 12 of the 14 elected aldermen are present and accounted for, so we have the necessary quorum to conduct business. Okay, moving then to item number 4, which are items to be removed, added, or changed on the agenda. Alderman McFadden, do you have this?
I do, and I know of none.
Well, I do want to make one change, just so we keep ourselves legal, and I think this is good. We are going to unfortunately have item number 7 in front of us, which is going to be the resignation of Alderman Mueller, but I would like to, so that she can continue to sit in the seat and participate in this meeting, I would like to move that down to item 15A, and we'll do it at the end of the meeting. Is everybody in agreement with that? Yep.
Your Honor, also, we need to remove item 8 from the agenda as representative from Elder Day Center was not able to be here this evening.
Okay. Anybody else?
All right, with that, I'll make a motion that we approve the agenda as amended.
Second.
Moved by Alderman McFadden, second by Alderman Cerrone, for the approval of the agendas amended. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
McFadden.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Rosado.
Aye.
Chanzit. Wolf.
Aye.
Salvati.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye.
Meitzler.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Cerrone.
Aye. Motion's approved by a vote of 12 yes, no no's, 2 absent. Moving to item number 5, the presentation of tonight's consent agenda. Alderman McFadden.
Thank you, Your Honor. The consent agenda reads as follows. Accept and place on file the July 2017 building report and the Plan Commission minutes for July 12, 2017. The approvals, the August 11th, 2017 payroll in the amount of $811,737.73. The accounts payable check register in the amount of $4,088,525.96. The City Council minutes for July 17th and August 7th, 2017. Ordinance 17-55, authorizing sale of a parcel of land at 2150 Main Street. Resolution 17-89R, requesting permit for IDOT for closure of various roadways for the 2017 Half Marathon Special Event. Resolution 17-90R, approving a business retention incentive for Cast Aluminum Solutions. Resolution 17-91R, change order number 2 with Williams Brothers Construction, Inc. for Phase 1 of the wastewater treatment plant rehabilitation project. And Resolution 17-92R, authorizing execution of the 2017 street and parking lot patching contract with J.A. Johnson Paving Company for $104,115. Make a motion we approve the consent agenda as presented.
Second.
Moved by Alderman McFadden, second by Alderman Cerrone for the approval of the consent agenda as presented. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
McFadden,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Rosato,
Aye.
Janset,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
Salvati,
Aye.
O'Brien,
Aye.
Callahan,
Aye.
Meitzler,
Aye.
Mueller,
Aye.
Ewer,
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Motion for the approval of the consent agenda is approved, 12 yes, no nos, 2 absent. Okay, moving to item number 6, or matters from the public for items that are not on our agenda. Do we have anybody this evening? Okay. All right, number 7 has been moved down to 15A, so we'll move to item 8 has also been stricken from tonight's agenda. So we'll move to item number 9, which is Batavia Main Street Block Party, September 3rd, 2017. Applicants El Taco Grande, Wilson Street Tavern, Gammon Coach House, River's Edge. Who's got this one? Alderman McFadden?
Yeah, thank you, Your Honor. Yes, this is a Class G special use outdoor license for the block party. The applicants are Wilson Street Tavern, River's Edge Bar and Grill, Gammon Coach House, El Taco Grande, and it's for the Main Street block party. The police department has conducted their investigations and found no problem. So with that, I ask, are we waiving the fee on this one? No?
I don't think so.
All right, in that case, I'll make a motion that we approve the liquor license as noted.
Second.
Moved by Alderman McFadden, second by Alderman Mueller for the approval of the liquor license as noted. I can't remember what the fee is on this. Jamie, do you remember what the fee is on these?
So each of the restaurants pay, I think it was $50, right? So each of the 4 restaurants submitted that when I submitted in the entirety of the liquor license. So that's all taken care of, so it'd be $200.
All right. So thank you. That's what I thought there had been an accommodation on that, so, or we worked that out. Any other discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
McFadden,
Aye.
Brown,
Aye.
Rosato,
Aye.
Janset,
Aye.
Wolf,
Aye.
Salvati,
Aye.
O'Brien,
Aye.
Callahan,
Aye.
Meitzler,
Aye.
Mueller,
Aye.
Ewer,
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
Motion's approved, 12 yes, no nos, 2 absent. All right, moving to item number 10, which is approval of a Class D liquor license for Classic Restaurants LLC doing business as Denny's, which 933, Denny's 9333, which is proposing to open up a facility at 521 North Randall Road. And we are very honored tonight. I asked Ken Kilberger, who is CEO of the Denny's organization, which is the group of Denny's restaurants that he is CEO of, is going to open this one, is proposing to open this one up. He met with myself and the Batavia Police Department several days back. They've already passed all the necessary tests and background checks. And he sat in my office and told me some interesting things about what he is proposing to do. They're going to go out there on Randall Road right in front of Sam's Club. They've already begun demolition, I guess, in there, or construction. And so, Ken, I'd ask if you could share with us a few words of plans that you have for that location.
Yes, thank you very much, Mr. Mayor. Yeah, I'm a Denny's franchisee in my office in Algonquin. I have 25 Denny's restaurants in Indiana and Illinois. We decided over the last 7 years we really haven't expanded, so I got kind of an itch to go down the Randall Road corridor and got with Dick Portillo. We're doing a store in Elgin, a strip center by the Portillos there. I'm doing a Hoffman Estates site, a brand new site in December. And then I asked Dick if he had other sites, and he said, yeah, I have this vacant building right next to my Portillos in Batavia. And he said, why don't you go out and take a look at it? And I drove it, and you have an amazing town here. I told the mayor on a couple days ago, we're looking for traffic generators, we're looking for traffic count. And that area right there with the retail corridor is amazing. So we're going to take the Honey Jam building. Right now, we're in the middle of construction on it right now. And we're going to make it look a little different than it was before. We're going to have 207 seats, which is a lot bigger than we normally have. But again, it's going to be a real nice look. We're very excited. Right now, we're in the hiring phase. The mayor's office has been nice enough to let us do a job fair here the last 2 Tuesdays. We'll be here today, tomorrow also. We want to hire Batavia residents, as I said in the paper. And again, it's just, right now it's a struggle. I thought we'd be a little more people coming in, but it's not from lack of trying. But again, we're very excited to be here. I think it's a wonderful town to be in. I've had very good success in Illinois with my stores in Gurnee, Spring Hill, North Aurora. I have a store right on 31 and 88 there. I also have stores in Rockford and South Beloit, Illinois, and then also in LaSalle, Peru. So like I said, we're very excited. We're going to be hiring probably about 100 people. We anticipate sales being very strong at this site. We're going to open on September 18th, and we'll be having a VIP party on the 16th, which one of the main reasons I want to get the liquor license going for that so I can do beer and wine for the party. I'm going to get my operation together, and then we'll look at beer and wine down the line, but I want to get also that clock ticking for your video gaming 1-year exclusion. But again, we're very excited to be in town. It's a wonderful opportunity, wonderful retail, wonderful traffic counts, wonderful area. It fits right exactly what Denny's is looking for. So that's what we're all about.
You want to share with us have you decided finally what your hours of operation are going to be?
Well, Denny's is open 24/7. Okay,
I knew that. I just thought you should.
Okay, sorry. Unless there's some issue, but I mean, I'm open 24/7 at all other 25 restaurants. I'm open 24/7 in North Aurora. There's no issues at night. And if there was issues, we'd be happy to do security. I do that at a couple stores in Rockford and South Beloit. We want to make sure that the employees and the customers are taken care of.
And when the police department and myself met with Ken, we emphasized to him that he obviously had to strongly follow all the Batavia liquor license hours, and he knows that at a magic hour, on every other license in town have to be closed, but he will keep the grill running, and he'll be serving ham and eggs and bacon out there.
Breakfast all the time.
After we close the bar down for the night, or however we want to describe it.
I think there's a need in that area for another breakfast alternative, so.
So, interestingly, this seems to be a little bit of hot news in town. I have had several people call me here at City Hall, all excited and pleased that Denny's is moving into Batavia, and that they're very anxious to do. Several of the senior folks have been very anticipatory about this coming in, so there's been a positive spin and vibe, and from what he was telling me, your plans are there's going to be a whole new look in that place when
Yes.
you're done.
Yeah, I mean, we're going, I'm sure you guys have been all in the Honey Jam, but it's going to be a real different look in terms of a wood floor. We've opened up the windows off the party room, and then we're going to do a different style roof outside. And then there's going to be some really nice wood features on the tower. If you guys get a chance, I mean, I don't know if you've ever gone over to North Aurora Denny's and seen that, but we made a major remodel last week and major changes inside and out. But that inside look at North Aurora will be the look in Batavia, and a lot of the outside elements too. So it's going to be a really, really nice look. If you haven't been in Denny's in a little while, the inside decor is very different than the old Denny's in the past. It's really, really, you walk in, you say, I'm in a Denny's? Yeah, you're in a Denny's. I mean, again, this wood floor look they have is just amazing.
Yeah, I was in Rockford yesterday, and I was on East State Street, and I drove by your restaurant about 5 o'clock, I guess it was, and you were doing a really good business up there yesterday.
Yeah, it's a really good site for us on East State over there, and then we have one at Denny's about 7 years ago, got involved with the Pilot Flying J and did about 170 of those truck stops, and we ended up doing 7. Where we jump in with, replace the restaurant they had in there with the buffet. And, it's a little city there with those Flying J's. It's exciting business. Just like I said, we put the signs up. I know the servers, the hosts, and the busboys will come in. It's just right now it's a struggle with the cooks. Being a cook at a Denny's is a little more challenging than other restaurants. You got to cook the whole menu 24/7. But again, it's not from lack of trying. I put a postcard out to 5,000 residents in Batavia and said, I'm now hiring. I got a grand total of 1 call. So that was amazing to me. I thought I was being innovative. No. 1 call on a person who didn't read the thing right and said, are you open? No, we're looking to hire. But it's not from lack of trying. I mean, again, we were out at the site today doing work just with a tent and open hiring, and I'm proud to say we have a couple cooks in line now, so we'll see what happens. But again, very excited to be in town, want to hire Batavia residents. I know there's unemployment here. It can't be, based on that no phone call thing, it felt like it was 0 unemployment.
Yeah, I had a recent, this year, graduate of Batavia High School in here this afternoon, and he was telling me he's getting ready, packing up, and he's going off to college, but he's already got it in his mind that come Thanksgiving and Christmas and spring break, he knows where he's going to spend his late nights.
Come on in. Like I said, we've had a lot of success in Illinois. I feel that these sites that I have in Batavia, down in Elgin and Hoffman Estates will all be equally as successful.
So, well, we thank you for coming in, and I guess I need a motion to approve the liquor license.
So moved. Second.
Moved by Alderman Wolf, second by somebody, Sterone. Any discussion? Clerk, call the roll.
Wolf.
Aye.
Salvetti.
Aye.
O'Brien.
Aye.
Callahan.
Aye.
Meitzler.
Aye.
Mueller.
Aye.
Ewer.
Aye.
Saron.
Aye.
McFadden.
Aye.
Brown.
Aye.
Rosato.
Aye.
Chanzit.
Aye.
That motion's approved, 12 yes, no no's, and 2 absent. So welcome to Batavia. We look forward to having you on our...
Thank you very much. You'll have your invites for the VIP party coming up.
Okay.
Look for them. Thank you very much.
Thank you. All right, now we're going to move to item number 11, which is the Main Street report.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to be brief with some updates for Main Street because we have more exciting news to get to. So our upcoming event is Block Party. I think I handed out those cards the last time, so I didn't bring those for you, but you can find all that information on our website. It is September 3rd from 4 p.m. until 9 p.m. That's Labor Day weekend. Down here at Peg Bond, we have Dick Diamond and the Dusters, the Dangelette Experience, who, if you came to Cocktails in the Park, they were the second band that played. They were excellent. The free kids area with the bouncy houses, snow cones, face painting, all that fun for your family. We also have our Pie in the Face and our Pie Bake Off. And then we have over on River Street, we'll have the car show. So, every year more and more cars show up. Awesome classic cars over on River Street. And of course, down here at Peg Bond, we'll have our restaurants, which the liquor licenses you guys approved, as well as Team Fib Barbecue, Bernie's Bully Dogs, Pal Joey's, so then Gammon, Wilson Street, River's Edge, and who am I forgetting? El Taco Grande. So delicious options for you to dine and spend your evening over here at the Block Party. We are looking for volunteers. So if you sign up to volunteer for the Block Party, you get this awesome tie-dyed t-shirt. Woohoo! So you all want one.
Nice.
Chris Cudworth wants one. Most of the slots to volunteer are 2-hour shifts. You can find the link on our website, in our e-news, on our Facebook page. I'm losing things. What is going on over here? There we go. And our website's downtownbatavia.com, and we have all of our volunteer links there. We definitely need lots of volunteers. So we need people to help over on River Street in the car show. We need people to help fill plates with whipped cream and then put them in the faces of the AGS and Louise White principals and gym teachers. We need helpers selling tickets. We have lots of people in attendance. So we appreciate as many volunteers signing up to help us with the speed of the crazy line as everybody wants to get their food and drink tickets. So sign up today. You get an awesome shirt. They were handmade by Kathy McNally and our summer intern, Brooke. So you're definitely going to want one because we're going to change them every year. So you can be the lucky winner of a t-shirt. Everybody wins one who signs up. I passed around for you guys our Oktoberfest postcard. So just to save the date for you guys, we have our big main stage fillers on the back there with the schedule, but it's October 6th, or 7th and 8th, sorry. That'll be over on North River Street again. All of your favorite German food, including the Wurst Kitchen, is joining us this year, so that's new. We have a great lineup on the stage, fun kid entertainment hosted by A Step Above Dance Studio, and of course our presenting sponsor Sam Adams, and then our stage sponsor Gerald Subaru of North Aurora and Naperville. So just put that date in your calendar, those 2 dates. It also is Homecoming, Hall of Honor. I feel like there might be like 3 or 4 other things happening that weekend, but everybody's going to come down to Oktoberfest after they do all their other stuff, so it's going to be great. Now to get to the really important stuff for the evening. A couple weeks ago, we hosted the Batavia dinner table, and I know many of you were in attendance. I'm sure a lot of you have seen the beautiful photos on our Facebook page, but it was a complete success. We served 200 people dinner on River Street. It was a farm-to-table dinner. All the food was purchased from our farmers market vendors, and then it was prepared by River Street restaurant chefs, and then it was served by volunteer servers. So the goal of that event is to kick off Farmers Market Week, tie in the fact that we host our farmers market right there on River Street, support the local businesses that are our farmer vendors, let people know that they can show up on Saturday morning and purchase those exact same items and prepare a delicious meal in their kitchen if they'd like to. And then on top of that, because we like to give back to our community, we have dedicated that this event will always give back after cost to the Batavia Interfaith Food Pantry. So it's doing that double, as we've mentioned last year, that feeding the community at the dinner table, but then going ahead and continuing to feed the community through our Batavia Interfaith Food Pantry, which Robin can give a little bit more information on how many people that services after we present the check. So Jessica McGrail was our chair of the event. Her husband Bill was on the committee as well. Kathy McNally's here from Main Street. And then we have our friends from Aldi, Jamie. She's going to actually present the check to Robin from the food pantry. So if you guys, everybody come up to the party. Awesome. So last year, we, after all of our expenses and everything, and obviously it was our first year, and we tried really hard, and we did a great job, and we were able to donate around $1,200 back to the food pantry, which was awesome, right? I mean, that was helpful. But this year, we have a much more exciting number, I think. It's pretty amazing. And this number comes to us because, obviously, our management of the expenses, even though we feel we presented an even more intricate menu with the braised short rib and the mushroom risotto and all of those different pieces. So we felt like we were spending a lot of money. But when it was all said and done, because of our generous sponsors like Aldi, Orange Home Services, Spillane, Waveform, the Park District, and the City of Batavia, we were able to cover those costs and still have some left. Then during the dinner, Kay Hollis Jewelers got up and said that they wanted to match last year's donation. So that donation was $1,200. So all of those numbers combined with a little bit of money from generous people who were sitting at the dinner and just decided to reach into their pockets and give us some extra money to help. We will be presenting. You want to come up here and tell us how much? And I would say come over here so that they can get pictures of you around the...
Yeah, so it's $7,065 for you guys. So at Aldi, we really enjoy and strive to be a part of the community, so especially here in our hometown of Batavia. So thank you for letting us be a part of this in the Interfaith Food Pantry. We really appreciate being a part of the community here.
And then Robin.
I just want to say I had a chance to attend the dinner. It was an amazing event. It was very impressive. And thank you to Aldi and all the other sponsors. I will just a little bit about the food pantry, although I think the city of Batavia provides a huge amount of support for the food pantry. So I assume you know about it already in terms of what we do for the community. But we serve about 400 families every month with a large grocery cart full of food. And so it helps people get through the month. We also have the clothes closet, which is associated there to help people with clothing and some household items as well. So One of the things that lets us do that is the support from the city, organizations like Main Street, Aldi, and so forth. And we feel very good about the service we're doing, and we're very proud of being part of an organization and supported by organizations like the city and your organizations here. So, any questions? I'd be happy to try to answer.
Well, I would certainly say on behalf of the city council that we're extremely proud and pleased with this event. Last year after we did it the first time, I had other cities call me, ask me questions about it. I've already had that experience this year. Other people have heard about it now and want to try to copycat it a little bit, which is fine in their own communities. But we've kind of set into motion here something that I think really catches the fancy of a lot of people. And as Jamie just intimated, there was people that made, donations kind of on the side just because they wanted to. And I found over the years that there's a lot of people in Batavia that do want to be participatory and generous, but they don't want any publicity about it, and they just want to do it kind of from the bottom of their heart and let it be going forth as that. So this kind of brings that out of a lot of people, and I think it speaks to kind of the quality of the community that we all are blessed to live in, and know that, there is organizations like all of you and Aldi and others that are willing to step forward and, support the food pantry and the clothes closet in a very strong nature. And it really does do a terrific job of helping people who really, truly need the support. So we are doing something here that I think kind of separates Batavia from a lot of the surrounding communities, because a lot of other places don't do it like this. And I think we've kind of perfected it a little bit and do it in a very good style. So we should be very proud and pleased of what this is all about.
And I think you left out an organization that, we appreciate the city building and the support of the city and that type of thing, because we would not be able to do everything we do if we had to shoulder that as well.
Well, I think this council, as myself, have always been of the opinion that if the city can't step forward and be part of the community, we got a much bigger problem here. So I don't think, at least it's my goal, that we don't ever get accused of that, because I think we're right in the forefront of almost everything. We certainly aren't anything that Main Street or the Chamber or Food Pantry or anybody brings to us. We're right there in the middle of it, I like to think, and are a cooperating partner in trying to do good things for the lifestyles of those of us who call ourselves our neighbors. So
Thank you.
thank you.
Really quick, I just wanted to also mention, after that note that you said, last year was our first year with this, and you have two people sitting at the table, Ellen and Marty, who helped us spearhead that. Without you guys, we wouldn't have been able to do this. So thank you guys. And of course, everyone else's support as well, but you guys really shouldered a lot of the efforts last year. So we thank you for starting that. Thanks, guys.
Thank you. Okay, moving to 12, the administrator's report.
Hi, good evening. Just want to update you on a couple of our larger projects and where things stand with those, as well as a number of things that are going on in Public Works as well. The first would be the Campana and the ongoing meetings that we're having there. They had their first meeting before the Historic Preservation Committee last Monday night. And after a lengthy meeting, the Historic Preservation Commission decided that for their next meeting, they wanted to continue the hearing on Campana, but to have that on site at the Campana building. And so the next meeting will be Monday, August 28th at 5:30 p.m. And that meeting will be convening at the Campana building. Also, we had the second public hearing, the continued public hearing for the Campana project before the Plan Commission last Wednesday. And again, we had a whole room full of people here, and we were able to get through the initial list of those who wanted to speak before the Plan Commission, but there was not sufficient time to get to any additional people who wanted the opportunity to speak. And so we are continuing the public hearing for the Plan Commission. The next one is scheduled for Wednesday, August 30th at 7 o'clock p.m. here in City Council chambers. And again, we'll make accommodation expecting that this room will be filled. We'll put as many chairs as possible here, as well as setting up the ancillary room for a video monitor, live streaming the meeting so people can still be comfortable viewing it in there, but still have the opportunity to speak over here, as well as it will be broadcast on BATV and live streaming on YouTube. It's expected that we'll be able to conclude the public hearing at that next meeting. I also wanted to provide you with an update on the One Washington Place project. The city staff met with Shodine, and unfortunately the cost estimates for the project came in several $1 million above the original estimates. One of the things that I wanted to point out is that the previous estimates that had been done were done in mid-2015 at the very beginning of this project. So that may be one of the reasons that has led to the difference in where the construction bids are coming out. Also, there's the difference between what is hypothetically the plan based upon a certain composition of the number of apartments, the number of parking spaces, and the square footage of the commercial space that's available. Those things were adjusted midway through the project as well, and so that has some effect on where these costs come out. But at the same time, the developer and staff are working together, and also with the third party who we had hired as our construction representative on the project. And the developer would like to consult with that third-party construction consulting engineering firm to determine whether there might be ways to reduce the costs to bring them more in line with what they were originally. So we're allowing that process to happen, and we still remain optimistic that we can get back to those, closer to those original numbers, so that we're still talking about the same type of financial evaluation of this project. Also, I wanted to let you know about some things that are going on in Public Works that people who live in these areas might be interested to know. The final connections have been made on the Hart Road water main. I'd say that there were some delays in that project because some unforeseen things came up, but we expect that all of the curb work and the patching can be completed this week. We also had an emergency sanitary sewer manhole repair on Batavia Avenue. A sinkhole was discovered as part of the Illinois Department of Transportation resurfacing project, but the repair there is underway. Also, some good news in that Kane County Department of Transportation has notified us that the Kirk Fabian water main relocation project has been pushed to at least the 2019 budget at the very earliest. Also, just letting folks know when our brush pickup is. We have the West Side brush pickup that's going on this week, so we should have had our items out to our curb by 7:00 a.m. today. The next brush pickups on the east side will be September 11th, and then on the west side will be September 18th. And that's all I have, unless someone has a question for me.
Any questions? Marty?
I think along the lines of the cost estimate for the garage being higher than it was, some people have possibly thought that wasn't considered in the planning for this, but we know for a fact that it was, because that's spelled out in the redevelopment agreement, that if it came out, there's additional options and contingencies for what could happen up to this project doesn't move forward if it's
Exactly.
if it's too high.
Right.
So that has, for the public to know, that has always been out there, that if it came in higher than we were willing to bond out for, that's either on the developer to figure out how to mitigate those costs or walk away.
Right.
And those were thought of.
Absolutely. Thanks for pointing that out.
Any other? Alderman Mister?
The Siemens property, last week at the Committee of the Whole, we were asking for an update on that. Where do we stand timeline with that getting cleaned up?
I would say that they are just a week or two behind because they were anticipating completing the project prior to the school year beginning. But I've noticed that the materials are right on site for the soil and grass to be. So I think that it's just a matter of doing the actual spreading of those materials.
And they still haven't touched the parking lot on the north side of McKinney?
That's correct.
Other comments? You know, I get a lot of questions about that Siemens property, and most of the old timers in the room refer to it as the Furnace Electric property. And I think there's a couple of aspects of that, you know, publicly should be known, and they are known. One is that there's no tax dollars from Batavia going into that work. That is all being funded exclusively by Siemens International. They are paying for everything that's going on there. And basically what is taking place, some people drive by there and think there's a subdivision being built, or there's buildings being built, or somebody's done something they haven't told anybody about, or whatever. Basically what is happening is that Siemens is found when they bought the property, they didn't really need it, so then they came and asked what we wanted done, and so we suggested that we tear the buildings down, level the site, and rezone it for residential use. So it has been already rezoned for residential activity, at least the parts where the Siemens buildings were. And so one of the things that was found when that activity, when the buildings were taken down, was that there were some environmental issues there. And Siemens was very professional and very cautious as to how they went about cleaning up that site. And one of the things that was recommended to them is that the foundations that were still in the ground there from the buildings that had been torn down were not to be removed until this environmental issue had been taken care of, because the foundations sitting where they were kind of locking in that environmental issue onto that property, and it wasn't spilling off in any other direction. So then the environmental folks showed up here a year and a half or so ago and said that they got a clean bill of health, they got the site pumped out or whatever they did, and they got that all cleaned out. So then they were going to take out the foundations. Well, they went to take out the foundations, and they found that underneath the concrete that was there was some contaminated foundry sand that had been put on the ground to kind of provide some better support to pour concrete on versus just pouring it on top of the dirt. So that required a whole new thing, or they had to come in with another environmental cleanup and take out all the environmental issues and under the contaminated sand. Once they got that removed, now they are going to be taking out, so I am told, the rest of the parking lots. And the parking lot, specifically the one that's south of McKee Street and north of Wilson, Siemens doesn't physically own that property. That's owned by a neighboring family, of which Siemens is paying a lease on. And so when that property goes to be developed, there's going to be several different parties in here before the Plan Commission and the City Council about what they own and where this is and whatever. And I know our development staff has done some preliminary studies and research about, you know, where we need retention ponds and, you know, where accesses to the new site should be. And I would look upon that to be a nice future residential development area, maybe of mixed-use residential, like a condo or a, you know, townhouses or some single family maybe. It'll be a mixture of nice housing stock that will eventually go onto that site. But there's, you know, I've been on Facebook and I've seen people make all kinds of suggestions and questions about what's really happening there and why isn't the city telling us. Well, I've just told you everything that the city knows. There's nothing more to tell. It's planned for residential. I'm sure it will be residential someday, and it's now undergone and it continues to undergo a major environmental cleanup. And the one nice thing I want to say about Siemens Corporation, I'm not real happy with them when they came into my town in shut down Furnace Electric and put hundreds of people out of work, that didn't really leave a good taste in my mouth, nor a bunch of other people. But the one thing I will say for Siemens is that they have risen to the occasion, and they have expended the funds to clean this thing up. And I don't know what their bill has been on that, but I'm glad that's not on the backs of the taxpayers of Batavia, because that would have been a huge amount of money that has been spent out there to get that site into presentable order. And just given some of the other things that are neighbors to it, specifically HC Storm and Batavia High School, I mean, I think it's imperative that we would have to have a clean site out there, and all those environmental things should be remediated and removed, and that all has been done. So, it's a slow process, but it's been on the right track, and I'm optimistic that something good will happen there. But it certainly does continue to generate a lot of supposition and questions about what really is happening at the furnace site on McKee Street. Anybody else have questions, Laura? Comments? Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, moving to 13, the committee reports. Community Development, Alderman Brown.
Just a couple meetings to announce, Your Honor. The Committee of the Whole is meeting tomorrow evening at 7:30. Quite a few items on the agenda for different committees to announce. The Historic Preservation, our city administrator just announced, will be at 5:30 on Monday, August 28th, meeting at the Campana Building. And I think we should note that, well, we do have before this, the next item would be the next COW meeting after the 28th will be the 29th. There is nothing on that agenda at this time. However, I'm sure there will be. But we should note that Labor Day is September 4th, which is a Monday, and we would normally have our council meetings on the first Monday of the month, but because it's Labor Day, we have scheduled our first city council meeting for September to be on September 5th. That's all I have.
Okay. Any questions to Alderman Brown? Okay, Government Services, Alderman McFadden.
Thank you, Your Honor. Just a couple of items on the agenda for tomorrow's COW. A video service franchise agreement, and a pole attachment agreement for some fiber optic for some new service, and a liquor license. That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. City Services, Alderman Wolf.
I believe we have one thing on the agenda for tomorrow night, which is a salt brine machine.
Okay.
That's it.
Public Utilities, Alderman O'Brien.
Your Honor, we're going to discuss tomorrow night master service agreement with Suncast Corporation, and also an approval authorizing task order number 1 with G4S for a fiber connection.
Okay. Any questions of the committees? Anybody in the council have any other business you want to bring up? Okay, going to the mayor's report. I haven't forgot you, Alderman Miller. I wanted to just take a couple minutes and share with you some stuff that the staff and myself have been working with the last few weeks. And one of the things that has really kind of raised its ugly head in town this year is that, and I think this is a good thing at the end of the day. One of the things, and we've talked about this before, is that Batavia in the last several years has experienced a massive amount of restoration and renovation of our older housing stock. And we really have seen a monumental amount of houses bought and rehabbed and put into great shape, and they've become a very attractive market for younger families to move into. And so on both the east and the west sides of the river and the neighborhoods that surround the downtown, most of this activity is taking place. But because this is all happening and so many things are of such a positive nature, one of the things that has kind of risen to a height of which I have not seen quite ever before is if there are remaining out there a few downtrodden pieces of property, and they are sticking out like proverbial sore thumbs. And Rhonda in the Community Development Department here has the code enforcement duties, and she and I talk probably every day, if not every other day, about the latest ones that we have heard about. And there's a bloody list of people that call my office and say, would you have somebody come up and look at such and such an address? And I'm not going to name addresses here, but you don't have to go out there very far, because you just drive down the streets and these things just kind of jump out at you. And it's stuff like, automobiles of some kind parked in the front yard, across the sidewalks, very tall weeds, uncut grass. And we've had one house that was very high profile in this whole mess, had, for whatever reason, not cleaned out their gutters. And the gutters got so infested with goodness knows what that suddenly the gutters were growing 5 and 6 feet high weeds out of the gutters on these houses. And I mean, in Batavia, in this day and age, this really sticks out and just really grabs you and puts it in your face. Right now, we've got a few of those left. Rhonda's been working very diligently and has been calling, almost pleading with people. But it's the ones that I am kind of distressed about at the moment are some of the business properties that we have in town. And there's a couple on both sides of the river, and some of them are pretty good-sized buildings. And, they become not only a concern for Rhonda, but certainly for the fire and police departments, because the fire department worries about, if somebody goes in there and there's a bunch of stuff sitting in there, lights it up, and we end up with a big fire on our hands for properties that really have no value or not of any importance, and we endanger other neighboring properties, and we endanger our firemen, and it's just not a good situation. And then we have some of these businesses are really defiant this year about cutting down their weeds and grass and thistles and thorns and stuff like that. And so we've been really trying to go after some of these folks. We have some properties probably within a block of where we sit that are very high visible properties in the downtown area of Batavia. And I was out there with my measuring stick, so I can tell you, we've got some places that got thistles that are 4.5 to 5 feet high. And so needless to say, I just want you all to know that they're getting letters right now. And the other thing that I'm very upset about is that we got some folks that have been in the liquor disbursement business in this community, and for whatever reason, the establishments that were there have decided to shut down and leave. And so then the current owners of the property, who I think would think they have a major investment here, they, for whatever reason, have apparently made a decision they don't want to pick their thistles and cut their weeds and whatever have you. So I'm just going to tell you, as the liquor commissioner, it's my full intention to inform these people when somebody does finally show up on the doorstep that they want another liquor license. They got to come in here and have a real nice meeting with me. And we're going to put some stuff in writing about this before they can be given a liquor license. And I'm going to be working with Roman and his compadres down at Drendel and Jansen's about maybe writing up some side agreements to our liquor license about property maintenance. Because we got a couple here that have really stepped over the line, in my opinion, and have really stuck a thorn in my side, and I'm not at all happy about what I'm seeing with some of these folks. So we need to send the message loud and clear that if you want to be in the business of Batavia and you want licenses from us, that you better be prepared to keep your property maintained, and that's something that any of us drive by who are involved with this city government, and we kind of hang our head in shame when we see this taking place in our town. Because, when you do that now, because of the high profile that so many of us have taken on and all this great renovation that's gone on in the older neighborhoods and in the downtown, when we get this stuff showing up, it stands out there like the proverbial sore thumb. And we've got a few now. And hopefully the old gas station up at Washington and Wilson we got a demo permit for that, don't we, Laura?
Yes.
So we're hoping that one's going to take care of itself here pretty quick. But that's another good example of what I speak right now with the way it looks there from behind the fence. So just let the words go forward that the city of Batavia is very aware of everything that's happening here. And we got full-time people that are hawking this stuff and trying to make sure that we clean our acts up and get this place, because it's really great and we get a lot of compliments about it. And I come to a Main Street or a chamber event, and we're going to have a couple that Jamie just outlined here in the near future, and I'll have all kinds of visiting people in here. For the Oktoberfest, we've got 3 Batavia High School class reunions coming in here in the next few weeks. We got the class of 1957, the class of 1962, and the class of 67 are all having reunions, two of which are going to be on the Oktoberfest days. So we're going to probably be pumping a bunch of folks in here that many of them lived here 50 years ago and have moved away and are coming back to see the old hometown, and we want this to look halfway decent for them. I think it does, but there's just some of these areas that really are letting their guard down, and so we're going to get nasty. So if anybody comes moaning and groaning to you that the city's being hard on them because they done cut their weeds, you may want to ask them, you know, what license were you looking for? All right, moving then, unfortunately, to item 15A, and I have received the following letter addressed to myself and the members of the Batavia City Council, dated August 12th, 2017. Dear Mayor and Council, I'm requesting that you accept my resignation for Councilman Ward 4, City of Batavia. I am currently looking for a home outside of the ward which I serve and will be unable to continue serving as 4th Ward Alderman. It has been a great privilege to serve the citizens of the 4th Ward for the past 2 years. I would like to offer my support for this current administration and council, my very best to all of you for luck in the remaining length of your term. Sincerely, Paul Mueller, Councilman, Ward 4, City of Batavia. I'd entertain a motion that we accept this letter with regret.
So moved.
Moved by Alderman Brown, second by Alderman McFadden. Anybody want to make any comments, or clerk call the roll?
Does Mueller vote on this?
Yeah.
Okay. Brown?
Aye.
Rosato?
Aye.
Jansit?
No.
Aye.
Wolf? Salvati?
Aye.
O'Brien?
Aye.
Callahan?
Nope.
Weitzler?
Aye.
Mueller?
Aye.
Ewer?
Aye.
Saron?
Aye.
McFadden?
No.
I thought you were going for 6-6 there. The vote was 9 yes, 3 no's. Unfortunately, the motion has to be approved. So Alderman Mueller, it's really, seriously, we're very sorry to see you leave, and we wish you the very best in the days ahead. And Batavia is a better place for your good efforts. So one of the things we obviously now have to do is we have to find a replacement for Alderman Mueller. And as we've done this now several times over the last few years, and as I remember the state statute, you have to be over the age of 21, or is 18? 18. You have to be a resident of the ward for at least a year, and you have to be a registered voter in the city of Batavia, or a registered voter. And so that's and then in our case, you have to be a resident, in this one, you have to be a resident of the 4th Ward. You have to live within the ward that you're going to represent. So this is pretty much everything north of Wilson Street and east of the Fox River is kind of the 4th Ward. So as we've done in the past and we've done again, what we want to do is ask interested residents of the 4th Ward who would like to be the alderman to write us a letter of interest, maybe attach a brief resume with it, and then send it down to my attention. And I will be accepting those in my office until Friday, September the 1st. No. It's Tuesday, September the 5th, which is the day after Labor Day. I'm going to give this and then we will distribute all those, hopefully several, letters of interest to all the members of the City Council. And at the COW meeting on September the 12th, we will open that meeting with an interview of these candidates by the City Council. And then the City Council will adjourn to executive session, and we have a voting system that we do, and the 13 of you who are on the City Council will then make the selection as to who's going to be the new 4th Ward Alderman. At which time, once that's made, we will come back out. The new person will be sworn in and seated right then and there, and they'll hit the ground running, but they will be sworn in at the next regular city council meeting, which would be then on the 18th.
Yep.
So we will have, but the person will know on the 12th who it's going to be. So that's the plan. Again, if press is here, Mark, I think you got all those dates for what I read. So that is the plan to replace the fourth ward alderman position. So I would invite anybody that has an interest in Batavia that would like to serve. This is the chance to do so. And we'll move forward from after the interview takes place, and all of you get to make your choice as to who you'd like to have as the new fourth ward alderman. Okay, no further business. Alderman Brown, I'd entertain a motion.
Move we adjourn.
Second.
Moved by Alderman Brown, second by Alderman Savati. Clerk, take a voice vote.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.